At this point in the resource, we've thought about what it is that we really want our students to take from their engagement in history into their everyday and future lives. We've talked about history having an essence and established that what we mean by this is being able to think and work and process like an historian as we make sense of the world that we live in. We want our students to question the stories they hear about the past and to make sense of these by critically analysing evidence. We want students to see that they can all be historians and use history in their lives in relevant and meaningful ways as active and informed citizens. We have identified that this essence of history is most strongly emphasised in the curriculum through the 7 historical concepts: continuity and change, cause and effect, evidence, perspective, significance, empathy, and contestability. We might find the essence of history emphasised most strongly in these concepts, but they only become powerful for students when we activate them through the 2 strands of historical knowledge and understandings and historical skills. These concepts really influence the way that we think about the content, and that's what the Bringing It to Life tool, or the BitL, helps us to do. When we look at the first layer of the Bringing It to Life tool, we see 6 overarching questions. These questions illustrate what it means to think, work and process like an historian. The 6 questions remain the same across Foundation to Year 10, but they include sub-questions that build in complexity and sophistication. These 6 questions strongly reflect the historical skills strand, because this strand gives us the tools for engaging in history learning. These questions form a logical order of inquiry used by historians. Let's look at the 6 BitL questions. The first question is, what are the stories? Historians are interested in the past, the stories, memories and ideas that still remain today. The second question is, what questions do we have? Historians question the stories that they encounter. They solve mysteries of the past and seek to fill in the gaps. The third question is, what can we use to find out? Historians seek out primary and secondary sources to help them answer their questions. The fourth question is, how can we use this to find out? Historians analyse historical sources as evidence to support their inquiries. The fifth question is, how can we make sense of this? Historians make their own interpretations of history based on evidence. They look for patterns of change and consider their questions from different perspectives. The sixth question is, how can we communicate this? Historians make decisions about the stories they want to tell others. They communicate in many ways to a range of audiences. We can click on any one of these questions to reveal the second layer of the Bringing It to Life tool. The second layer of the tool elaborates on what the BitL questions mean at each year level group. This layer outlines the main ideas and skills that we want the students to engage with through these questions. It describes what the curriculum is asking students to engage with. This layer was written to reflect the year level and content descriptions and the achievement standards. When we click on Dig Deeper, a third layer of the tool is revealed. This layer has 2 boxes. The first box gives us a set of what we've called pedagogical questions. These questions are deliberately designed as the types of questions that a teacher could directly ask students to get them thinking and acting like historians. These questions are also designed to guide the teacher's thinking about the opportunities and experiences they need to provide for students so that they can think and work like historians. The pedagogical questions show how the 2 strands, historical knowledge and understanding and historical skills, can be woven together intentionally so that the historical concepts are brought to the forefront. The second box in this third layer provides an example to help teachers. These examples have taken one content description from the historical knowledge and understanding strand and shown what the pedagogical questions look like when used against explicit content. The questions in this layer are not meant to be an exhaustive or prescriptive list. and teachers are encouraged to develop their own questions. However, it is important to note that these questions were carefully designed to address all aspects of the achievement standard and all 7 historical concepts. We know that working through the historical concepts helps us to develop powerful history learners. We need to be intentional about designing learning that embeds these historical concepts and weaves together the 2 strands in history.